It's Wednesday, the 11th of April 2018, and welcome to Navigating Your Day. To think about what month it is. Safety engine arc number 11 came into the universe meaning justice or getting rid of excess baggage. Now, safety engine arc number 11 is located here, just here on the top of the trap, right? Where most of us have, of course not me, where most of us have a tender trigger point. And you can hold safety engine lock number 11 by just hanging your hand over your shoulder and making a ring with the thumb and the ring finger. So you put the thumb over the nail like that, over the ring finger. So justice, right? Now, justice, in my understanding, is this is not like someone did something terrible to you and so justice needs to be served and they need to be punished. Justice is those scales of justice. It's a 2, remember, 11 is a 2. It's actually a sacred number. It's associated with spiritual justice. And in my understanding, those scales are always balanced. The universe has a built-in mechanism that is taken care of, and that we humans do not have to take care of it. Now, at the level of our lower minds, we do not comprehend that. We don't understand it, and we can say, yeah, we get that it's a balance of opposites and it's a dualistic universe and day and night go together. But when it comes to something that we're very, very charged about, something that is a huge challenge to our value systems, we are very quick to say it's unfair. And the only reason why you judge anything as being unfair or anyone as being good or bad, this goes in both directions, right? Fair or unfair, good or bad, is because you perceive, if you think that it's good, you perceive that there's more benefits than drawbacks to you and everyone else of that person or situation being a certain way. And if you judge it as being bad, it's because you perceive that there are more drawbacks than benefits. And we all have our own reality filter. We say that this is reality. We all individually judge everything based on whether we think it's more supportive or whether we think it's more challenging. So 11 helps us to connect to that perception, to have a knowing that in actual fact, we don't have to worry about it because it is already balanced, and that we can train ourselves to see that. But it does not come automatically and it doesn't come easily because it's a spiritual type of facility. It's like a muscle that you have to train. So, you can talk about appreciating duality, but until you find yourself in a situation that you judge as being bad, and you can find 100, 150, 200 benefits of that bad situation, you're not capable of doing it. Now, nobody can start off from 0 to 200. That's like saying put on your tackies and run a marathon when you've been a couch potato for 20 years. But unless you train yourself to find 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 benefits, you're never going to get any better at it. It's a muscle. It needs to be exercised. I'm always amazed. I often say to people who are not well that, this is the same with disease. If there are drawbacks to be having signs and symptoms, then there must be an equal and opposite number of benefits. And someone will say, I'm desperately ill, I'll do anything to get better. And it's usually associated with like a really bad label. And then you say, well, go and find the benefits. And then either they don't do it. You know what? I've probably had 4 patients in my entire last 7 years that I've been telling people to do this with any kind of consistency that have actually done it. In fact, I don't even tell people anymore, just about. Message to self, better start again. And of the ones that do it, they go, oh, I could only find 5 or 6. Well, hello, if you can only find 5 or 6, you're never going to equilibrate that experience. You're never going to see the message in the disease or the signs or the symptoms. You're never going to be grateful for it. And you are never going to be able to activate those physiological mechanisms to give you true healing. So, practice is what grows the muscle that actually makes us competent at this particular exercise. If you don't practice, you're never going to be good at it. It's a simple fact of life. So 11, another heavy again. This seems to be Loretta's heavy week, right? So safety engine arc number 11, it's a 2. Remember, and 2 is about being able to appreciate the balance. It's also about nurturing. So I said at the beginning, 11 is a sacred number. 11 is a sacred number associated with spirituality. It's spiritual nurturing. So I'm telling you, I'm telling you, based on my perception, right, and the tools that I know that I have in my life, Making those lists of how things benefit you when they seem to be only causing pain, and making a list of finding where the pain is when something that you judge as being amazingly awesome is happening to you. What that really does is that actually helps you to grow that spiritual muscle so that you develop more of a God's eye view than a human eye view of this physical existence. Because it doesn't matter how spiritual you are, and it doesn't matter how aware you are, and it doesn't matter how advanced you are, shit is still going to happen. And as human beings, we are pursuing pleasure and we are running away from pain, and we're terrified of losing something good when we have it, and we're terrified of gaining something that we judge as bad when we don't have it, and we live our lives vacillating between this fear of losing or fear of getting. Fear of losing something that you think is good, fear of getting something that you think is bad. That is not mastering your life. Okay, moving on. 11 is 2. It's about nurturing. It's about spiritual nurture in this instance. So today we can really connect to that nurturing energy of the 2. We have a 2 in 2018, of course, so we've got 2 water numbers in the life map route today. We've got the 4 of April, the earth, which is actually bringing sort of a bit of earthness to it. Now, water and earth are the 2 feminine elements. They're about going inside. They're about introspecting. They're about connecting to the deep inside of you. They're connecting to that feminine essence, and this is whether you're a man or a woman, you have it. It's connecting to that dark, mysterious feminine. Think about it. In the depths of the waters, it's black. In the depths of the earth, it's dark. So it's about our dark interior. It's about the womb. It's not dark as in bad. It's just about internalizing. And so it's associated with emotion. So today you may find yourself feeling emotional. You may find yourself tapping into emotions. Remember, emotions want to be felt, they don't want to be fixed, so honor them. 4 from April helps us to stay in integrity with ourselves, remember, and it helps us to get real about where we maybe need to practice making those benefits and drawbacks lists a bit more. The hero of today is the 8. So 8 in this hero position is about practical. How can I make this practical? Oh, Lorita's spoken about the feminine, the emotions. What am I going to do with that? Okay, well, actually, maybe you're just going to sit for 5 minutes and allow yourself to feel the emotion. That would be practical. Or practically sitting down, taking a piece of paper, putting 2 columns on it, and making a benefits and drawbacks list of whatever it is that's giving you the pip at the moment. So that is the practicality of the 8 helps us to make these concepts and these sort of almost esoteric concepts practical and real in our lives. 8 is also about boundaries. 8 is about saying, okay, listen, you've had your cry or you've had the emotion, but now we've actually got to get to work. So can we maybe schedule that for later? Or can we put a timer on it? Because this is what practically needs to get done today. You've sort of got to get out of bed and you've got to have a shower and, you've got to actually look after yourself. So 8 helps us to connect to that practical side of it and helps us to stop being overwhelmed. The villain today, oh dear, guys, here it is. It's the 1. The villain in the 1, when the 1 is in the villain position, remember, that's when that critical voice, ooh, natter, 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 natter. Yes, if you were just better at making the lists, if you just didn't do so much bypass, if you just cared for yourself better, if you just weren't so ugly, if you just weren't so stupid, if you just weren't so, I don't know, downright pathetic, the critical voice, that's the 1. It's the lack of confidence. It's the saying, I don't deserve to be nurtured. I don't deserve to look after myself. I don't deserve to foster connection with myself and other people. I don't deserve to be loved. I'm not good enough. Just remember, that voice is a part of you, but it's just a voice. So if you want to manage that practically, when you hear yourself going off like that, just interrupt and say, is that really true? Now, your first instinct is going to say, yes, of course it's true. Secondly, ask yourself, have I ever been in X situation before or a similar situation before? Have I ever felt like this before in my life? Yes. What did I do? What did I become? What strengths did I harness? How did that benefit me? Did I survive it? Yes, I did. So is this story true? No. Are there people who love you? Of course. Name 2. Name 1. If you can name 1, you are not intrinsically unlovable. It's impossible. So the minute you interrupt that critical voice, then you stop that story, because it's just one opinion. It is not the truth. Of course, we have Jinshin Jitsu, And Jitsu will help us by helping us hold our index fingers. And if you hold your index finger, as I said to you yesterday, you harmonize subconscious fear. You help to harmonize the bladder and kidney organ function energy. You help to eliminate what no longer serves you. You help to circulate the energy. You help to circulate everything that needs to move in your physiology. You help to maintain flexibility in your thoughts and your emotions, and you allow your emotions to flow freely. You get clarity. You fill your warehouse of abundance. Remember, that's from yesterday. So you help to fill your warehouse of abundance, and you can connect to that energy of the 10. And 10 is a 1 that says, I am worth it, right? So that's how you can overcome that critical voice in the villain position today. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.